In an interview published this week with The New Yorker, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez offered us what might be one of the best descriptions I've ever seen about the inner workings of Congress. AOC referred to it as simply a shit show. Let me read her exact quote. "Honestly, it's a shit show. It's scandalizing every single day. Some folks perhaps get used to it or desensitized to the many different things that may be broken, but there's so much reliance on this idea that there are adults in the room, and in some respect there are, but sometimes to be in a room with some of the most powerful people in the country and see the ways that they make decisions, sometimes they're just susceptible to groupthink, susceptible to self-delusion." You know, I love seeing a member of Congress speak so freely and clearly about what's actually happening in there, right? You know, we have seen, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene come out and attack her fellow Republicans in Congress, as well as attack Democrats, say we need a civil war, a realignment within the Republican Party, and she said that she encourages that to get rid of the rhinos. But here we have AOC taking a much different approach, saying the problem is these lawmakers, they get together, and then the groupthink kicks in. One of them says something, and then another one might piggyback off that. And before you know it, they're all saying the exact same thing, agreeing on something that shouldn't even be agreed upon. But I want to take it a step further than that. I fully, wholeheartedly agree with her analysis, except, of course, at the end where she says, we're never beyond hope. I don't know that I agree with you on that. But this is the problem with these elected officials in Washington, D.C. And honestly, this is one of the strongest arguments for term limits that I've ever seen. They become desensitized, she says. And that's kind of what I've been saying for many years now in my defense of term limits. When these individuals spend so much time in Washington, D.C., and so little time back home in their districts dealing with real problems and real people, they lose touch. Suddenly, the dysfunction in D.C. seems normal. What's happening back home is a foreign land to you at that point. When these people are removed for that long, they stop caring, is the point. AOC has been in Congress long enough to still care about her district, but not long enough to have been corrupted by it. And I know there's plenty of folks who like to consider themselves far left, that really are just on the right, they refuse to admit it, that attack AOC all the time for not doing enough for progressives. AOC is doing what she is able to do. You know, I don't have a problem with her. Do I agree with her on 100% of things? No. I don't agree 100% with anybody in Washington, D.C., left, right, center, whatever. I don't think she's been perfect by any stretch. But I think she's a hell of a lot better than most of the other people in Washington, D.C. And there's a handful of others there with her that I would categorize in the same way. But we have to understand that these people, at some point in their careers, most of them, almost all of them, truly do stop caring about what happens back home. They lose sight of the values. They get enticed by the money coming out. You know, you can write a book as a member of Congress and make tons of money. You'll get a huge advance on that. You can do like some of the other ones have done, like Matt Gaetz and Ted Cruz, and start a podcast. You can go on the cable news shows every single night, make a name for yourself, and become the biggest celebrity Congress has to offer. Wonderful. You can trade stocks illegally and really not have to face any problems from it. But we need people that are actually going to legislate and do the damn job that we sent them there to do. That's what AOC is calling out. So whether you love her or you hate her, this is an accurate statement that she has made here. Congress has become a shit show because far too many people there just stop caring altogether. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.